Hey, this is just a 5-minute quickie to talk about don't wait until you're broken to seek out a little bit of therapy. And therapy comes in many guises. It doesn't have to be big, doesn't have to be deep. Sometimes it can be just something you listen to, hear, read, and it can change you in a moment. All you have to do is decide. Decide you're not going to put up with that thing that's making you uncomfortable. And then just do it. Have a listen, please, because we all get to feel like that. Me, you, everybody. So have a listen. Hey, welcome to the Personal Development Unplugged podcast with me, Paul Clough. And this is an FMQ, a 5-minute quickie podcast, which never lasts 5 minutes. It always goes a little bit longer. But it's a chance for you and I just to muse, to think of a subject, to talk about it for a few minutes and then spend time thinking, seeing how it would change our life if we maybe developed it a little deeper. And maybe sometimes these 5-minute quickies will go into a longer podcast where we can dive deeper and produce processes, hypnosis processes, NLP processes. Don't worry about the names. They're just processes for making our life and your life absolutely better. Getting rid of anxiety, fear, all those other hang-ups and issues that we have, and have the life we deserve and make dreams come into reality quicker, bigger, better than you could ever dream of. But they're the longer podcasts, and this is a 5-minute quickie where we break down the complicated into simple, because in simplicity there's genius, and that's what we do here. So if you want to just think for a little while, see what happens. See what resonates inside you. And when it does, you go change the world.
This is Personal Development Unplugged with Paul Clough.
In simplicity, there is genius.
In simplicity, there is genius.
Hey friend, it's another 5-minute quickie. Something to think about, something to muse, something for me to just have a little riff with. Therapy, therapy? Therapy is for broken people, isn't it? People who are broken. They're just not working properly anymore, and they need therapy because that's what broken people do. But is that true? Is that really true about broken people? Yeah, broken people. I don't even know what that term is, do you? What's a broken person? I can understand it in the A&E. I broke my leg, broke my arm. But they're not broken, they've just had an accident. Some people can feel broken, I guess. Fragile. Things like that. And yeah, those people could benefit from therapy. What therapy? I don't know. There's so many different therapies around, isn't there? So many. I like NLP, I like hypnosis, I like timeline therapy. Put the three together and you have, I think they call it a triage. Someone called it a triage. And that sounds quite nice. But I think everyone could do with a bit of therapy. Because we all have an issue or two. I know I do. And I've been working with clients for bloody donkey's years. And I have my own little issues. And I work on my own little issues. But I'm not broken. You don't have to be broken to come and have a little bit of therapy. Because I think sometimes what happens is we ignore it. We get adult-ish. And adults can be boring buggers. And what they do is they try to put up with things. I can remember my mum and dad, they would put up with things. Because they didn't really believe that they could have it better. They would just put up with the pain. Why the bloody hell would anybody put up with the pain? But I know they do. I don't know. Because sometimes that little bit of pain can begin to grow a little bit more over time. Until you get to the point where it's just evolved. It's like a snowball going down a hill, getting bigger and bigger. But you don't realise it at the moment until it gets to a point where you go, oh, I'm broken. It's too much. Some small thing just like breaks the camel's back. So, I can't even. Oh, I'm sorry, my lips weren't working. I don't know what I was going to say. I think what it really is, I mean, you don't have to go to therapy. It's good if you do. But sometimes I just think listening to podcasts, hopefully like this one, and there's other really good ones around, where you can just pick the one thing. If you get that golden nugget, it will help you change, because you can change in a second. In fact, I was talking to a potential client this morning, and they said, I was talking about therapy doesn't have to take a long, long time, because it doesn't at all. It can really take a short time. And the thing is, we can change a belief that we've had all our life in a second. Or we just have to see that it's not true. If we see something to show that it's not true, then our belief will change. And they said the same thing. They said they were getting really hurtful and angry because of a broken relationship. And about the one person in that relationship they were getting angry about. And then they said, well, suddenly I realised I don't even know the person. And why should I let them, a person I don't know, have that power over me to be angry? And they just said, I decided it isn't going to happen. And that anger went. And that's what we can do naturally. And if we can do that naturally, and we then harness that natural ability with hypnosis or NLP or timeline therapy, we can change anything from big, I believe anyway, big issues to the little ones. The little ones you can do here with those guided, I don't like the word guided imagery, but with that visualization. You'll find loads of them within the back catalogue. There's loads of them in the 55 plus hypnosis and NLP processes that are completely free at paulcloughonline.com/podcast. And there you get all of those. And you don't have to be broken. You just have to be wanting not to put up with the things that are causing you a bit of pain, causing you a little bit of unrest, causing you to be uncomfortable in certain situations, because we can change those easily, quickly. If people can come and see me and change within 2 sessions, that's like an hour, that's like 2.5 hours. You can change in moments, minutes, maybe 20 minutes by listening to a longer podcast or listen to a podcast that just does the magic. And the thing is, nothing that any therapist does or any process does is magic. The magic comes from you, you see. It's how you use it. So please don't wait till you're in that state of being broken. Let's just get together and make a difference. And making sure that we're safe, we're comfortable, and moving towards more joy than we can stand. I think that's a nice place to be, don't you? Have a think about that. Is there anything that I'm not going to put up with anymore? I'm going to find a way to change. And having said that, because that's so doable, if there is anything that you want to change, doesn't matter how small, send an email to me. feedback@personaldevelopmentunplugged.com. It's always anonymous, but just put down the type of things you want to change. If I can direct you to a podcast episode or hypnosis track, I'll do that. And if I can't, just like I've done in the past, I will create an episode around that issue and create or find the most appropriate process that could help you. And that way we're just continuing to move on. I'm sharing what I know. And I love it. Anyway, have a think about that. Have a muse. Never get to that broken stage. Let's take action. Let's choose. Let's decide. I'm not going to put up with it anymore. Anyway, have a think. It's Paul, your friend. And guess what? It's time to fly.
Warning, you are now leaving the unplugged mind of Paul Clough. It's time to fly on your own. Be brave, my friend.
Personal Development Unplugged.